So, welcome back to the Brightside Film Festival interviews, and we're here with actress, writer, and director of In Sweet. Right? That's how you say it.
It's on
On
Sweet.
Sweet.
In Sweet.
He's the
Sweet.
director. I'm
Yeah.
the actress and writer.
Yes. Absolutely. What's that noise back there? What's going on outside?
Of course, it's really sad. Every time I try to keep my office quiet,
Yeah.
somebody decides they have to drive her back up or something. It happens in New York all the time.
The backyard offices are.
Yeah,
really
you've
rough.
been walking down the street in the city, and all of a sudden, like you're in the middle of a conference call, and there's a siren. It's like, don't they realize that I'm on a call?
Jeffrey Cantor, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm happy to have you guys here. I'm happy to be doing this. I was trying to fit it in. I usually have more time, but oh my God, this is a crazy summer. But we're excited. August 7th, all day long, and we're going to have films, and we're happy to have your film. I've seen it many times, so I'm excited to show it again.
You're a lifer. Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm for our film. It was a labor of love for both of us, so it's nice to have it received in such a way.
Yeah, really great.
Like I know, but not that many people know. How'd you come up with your idea for the film?
So the film was inspired by my breast cancer diagnosis in 2018. I was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer, and it was sort of a strange thing. I knew Jeffrey was coaching me at the time as an actress, so we knew each other. We weren't as friendly as we are now, but I knew I wanted to work with him, and I was trying to come up with ways that I could do that. And then when I was in recovery from one of my first surgeries, I just had this idea. I was in my bedroom looking at my bathroom for hours a day, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to shoot a film that took place in the bathroom about a couple? And it was not a breast cancer film then. It was really a film about a couple. And one of the things that is recognized in the course of the film was that she did have breast cancer, but it was not the focus of the film at all.
It was like one scene, right, Lainey?
It was one scene. It was one line, and the line is still in our current film, where he makes a comment about, fuck cancer, I love your breasts, the kind of thing. So that was always, and that was how you knew she had gone through breast cancer in the original script. And then when Jeffrey read the script, he said, I really think you have, and he asked me where the film came from. And just like I just told you, I said, I just had breast cancer. And he said, oh, okay. He goes, well, now I love it even more because it's so personal to you. He goes, but I really think you have. You with us there, Jeffrey?
Sorry, there's people coming into the house. I'm just showing them.
He said, I really think you have something really special here with your story. And he said, I know the film is not my story. It is not at all what happened to me. There are pieces of it that were real about, the surgeries that I had, the multiple surgeries, the types of procedures that I had, some of which comes out in the movie and some doesn't. But the film, the couple, that's not me and my husband. That was, but I really like the direction in which it took, because it really did become a very more serious, more loving, more thoughtful film than what we had originally put on paper. And so that's where it all started. And
then Jeffrey, how'd you come on directing the project, Jeffrey?
So, Lainey sort of explained that. Lainey originally asked me she showed me the script and originally asked me to be in it. And I had.
That's my sister's dog.
Doesn't the dog know you're in the middle of it?
I know, right?
Your dog.
Shut up, dog.
Anyway, so when she asked me to be in it, it was a lovely script. It did go through quite a few changes because once we sort of found the linchpin of a story, and it's not about cancer, it's about this couple, but against the backdrop of a life-changing experience, right? And that's where I thought the real meat and value was. But also I had a real vision for it, and I really did not want to direct myself. I don't think I ever will want to direct myself because I'm so hard to work with. No, I think that I don't like being self-conscious and about my work and watching myself, so it didn't suit me. But I asked a friend of mine, Rob Bogue, who is just a tremendous actor, as those who will see this film will see. He's quite amazing, and in my head, he sort of embodied the voice I heard of the husband. And the chemistry between Lainey and Rob was really extraordinary. And so once we sort of hit upon what the real theme of this film was going to be, and we reorganized some of the script, and Lainey was very open to working with me on sort of like we pared it down and took, like, there was some real humor in the sort of first iteration of the script they had sent, and we kept a lot of humor in, but we made it much more situational rather than trying to tell jokes. And I think you're going to see a film. You've already seen it, as you said, a number of times, but the people who haven't seen it are going to see a film that smells like the truth. You know, as Lainey says, it's not her story, but it is her story. Like the experiences of this couple are not experiences that I would say are unfamiliar to Lainey. You know, or other people may have gone through crises, even other than breast cancer. And then the whole notion of, and I don't want to give it away, but the way it was shot was something that I came up with, and it took very little time to convince Lainey. It took a longer time to convince.
You trying to say I'm easy?
My DP had a much harder time with it than Lainey.
Very tight. It's hard to do something that tight, right?
Yeah, but it really worked to our advantage on a number of levels. And I would say the thing that was most interesting for me about shooting it the way we did was that it worked really at. Hold on one second. We were working really with the actors almost like they were doing a play rather than a film. Yeah. And so each scene that you see is a oneer. And so there's no internal cuts. You don't have, we're not doing different takes. And so each scene is run through. And I think that it also speaks to the skill of the actors, that they were able to do it that way. But I think it helps tell the story because you're not being distracted by internal cuts. You're really watching these two actors do their work, and you're watching the story come to life. And so that was one thing. And also for me, and again, I don't want to give it away, but the way we filmed it sort of reflects the theme of the film in terms of her life, her and her husband's life, and then life outside of the home. And I hate to quote Shrek, but it's a little bit like the layers of the onion, if you remember, in Shrek. And I think that when you can find a filming style that resonates with the theme of a film, that's a very fortunate thing to be able to do. And so we were very lucky. And everybody who sees this, I don't know if this has been your experience, Lainey, too, but everybody who sees this, it's a very short film. I mean, this is a short. Yeah. This is what, 12 and a half minutes?
Not even. Everybody 12 minutes with the credits.
And everybody who sees it says that they feel like they've watched like a 45-minute film, and they don't mean that in a bad way. They mean they've been taken on a journey that has a lot of value to it. And again, it was a real collaborative thing with the two actors and me and our producers. I mean, Steve and Roy were wonderfully supportive. My DP was just tremendous. So it was great. Hold on one second.
Yeah, absolutely. So when filming that, though, how long did it take to film that? A day or 2 days?
We did one. Well,
a day and a half.
We did 2 days. Well, yeah, because we did the ending. We did the ending part on a separate day. But the film itself, all the interior shots were all done in one long day.
What happened is
which I won't do again.
We filmed it at Lainey's house, and so we wanted to go and sort of set the place up because we knew we were going to film it in a day. And I also had an idea for the credits, and so we sort of did a B-roll that you'll see when you see the credits that is a little bit different than the rest of the film. And so after we set the house up for lighting for the next day, we then filmed, in a couple of hours, the sort of the end credits, the epilogue, if you will.
Yeah.
So, but it was really a day. I mean, a day and a half is what we filmed this.
It was too soon. It was too quick. I won't do that again.
I don't know. It's still something it's a little feather we can put in our little.
I know, but yes, for sure. But
it would also be hard.
Never say never, Lainey.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not, I don't want to do that again. I feel like sometimes, because you need some part of the day to iron out some of the kinks too, because, you just jump into action and things that come up that you don't expect. And you want to sort of have a little bit of a buffer time to say, you know what, let's go back and let's redo this one, or this thing didn't work. Let's watch it back. And when you're rushing through, I kept referring to it as like guerrilla filmmaking. We're on a very, very tight budget. A lot of very patient people who were willing to work long hours, and it was great. It was a great experience. It was a great day, and I'm thrilled with the results. But I don't want to do the one day thing again, even with a short film. Like, we're working on our next one. I'm working on the next one, and in fact, I just sent you some location shots today, Jeffrey, from up here. And I don't want to do it in one day. I want to probably do like 2 to 3 days.
But also, the film you sent wouldn't lend itself to a day, and so
that's true. The next one is more involved.
This film, what's interesting about this film is it was all shot in one location.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was doable. Mm-hmm. And most films are not going to lend themselves to that. That's not going to be an option for most films anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The lighting, you'd have to keep changing, right? If you kept doing it, you'd take everything down, put everything back up. So
right. So what we did was we shot it out of sequence because we were following daylight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so there's some subtle art department changes that we did, but we were following daylight. And so we knew what scenes were daytime, what scenes, what time of year, what time of day and what time of year. And so we tracked the whole film that way, so that we utilized natural light as well as the lighting that William sort of organized for us to our advantage. So that's not going to happen. Yeah. That's a rare opportunity that we had. That's not an option that you're going to have for the most part. So
absolutely.
Hold on 1 second. The mail is there. I don't live here, but I am acting like I do.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh,
any checks
from Purpose Christi Church. I was waiting for that.
Oh my God. Pay attention, Jeffrey.
No, I love it. This is real. This is real. This is what we love, right?
Real.
Guerrilla interviewing.
The only person I'm missing right now is Ming Chen, who usually is behind all the producers.
Yes, I know. He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
And I know him.
Yeah. We did the interviews at the Garden State.
Yeah.
But I knew him before then.
Yeah, at the cons, right? I go to cons with him all the time. He's right now in Tennessee.
He's all over. He's in a different location like every other day.
Well, he went to San Diego.
He did. He was in San Diego. Now he's in Tennessee.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm going down to Maryland at the end of August.
Oh.
I'm not sure if he's coming to that one.
I know what I'm doing. I'm going with him somewhere. I'm going. There's a film festival that he was invited to in Foxwoods, and I put my student films into the festival, and they got in. So we're both.
Congratulations!
So
that's great.
It's a lot of fun. So it'll be a fun trip actually doing the film festival and con with Ming. I just spent a week with him in Houston, so that was crazy.
Oh, you went to Houston Comic Palooza?
I did. Yeah,
That was my first Comic-Con ever.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I love it. I'm addicted. I go every year. Every year. They used to have a film festival. That's how I started going, but they took it away. But now it's coming back. So they put regular films in too, not just like Comic-Con films. So you never know, right?
Never know.
But so what's next for this film here? I know it's been playing a lot. Is this kind of towards the end of it?
We've been doing very, very well on the festival circuit. We've garnered a bunch of awards, tons of nominations. We still have another festival. We have yours on the 7th, and then we have another one, the Chain Festival in New York on the 10th. Okay, and then we have the Tallahassee Film Festival, September 3rd and 4th, which we just got into. Nice. And we're waiting to hear from some more down the line. And then I'm hoping sometime in the next, late fall or something to start working on the next one where Jeffrey and I are teaming up again. And yet again, another situation where he was going to play the actor in it and now has pulled himself out yet again. I said,
Just
you
can't
keep
do it.
doing
You
this.
just
He's
can't do
doing
it.
this on purpose, though, because he knows every time he bails as the actor, I'm going to write something else, so he'll act with me because I want us to be on screen together. But he
The
seems
thing
to.
is,
He's either really avoiding it or he really just wants to
but
be a
Lady-
You have
director.
another actor to play the part.
right. So Lainey also knows that I'm finding better actors than me to play the role.
That's true. He wants to know if we know who's playing the lead role.
So
Can we say?
Well, no, because
But you
we haven't
know.
confirmed it yet. We
Oh,
don't
you
want
haven't
to
confirmed, but
I thought it was confirmed, but
it's pretty confirmed. But who
never
knows?
know.
Who knows
Yeah.
what else makes
great
our life
actor,
get
a great actor who's more famous and better than Jeffrey. So
I know that's hard to believe.
I know, and this is the only actor he would ever admit that about. So no, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited. It's I wrote it at the start of the pandemic, so it's been in the making for quite a while, and it's grown a lot, which is really nice. And so yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's just an interesting sort of tragic love story. So
would you be working with the same cinematographer for it as well, or
Maybe.
Yeah, we
Maybe.
haven't really talked about all that yet.
I mean, it really depends on availability,
Yeah.
on how much money we have. There's so many variables.
Yeah.
So it's sort of hard to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I love working with William Amenta. He gets me, and he does what I tell him to do, which is what I want my DP to do, but while still protecting me. So, I mean, I have another project that I'm doing next week with another amazing DP named Tom Piozette, who's from California, who did the behind the scenes for Top Gun. And I worked with him a number of years ago. I'm doing a project with an organization called Rethink the Conversation, and it's a non-scripted piece around young people and suicide loss.
no?
And so that's another one-day shoot, and so that's this coming Saturday. And so if depending on, I mean, I don't think we could afford Tom, but there are a lot of very good DPs out there. So I don't know, if Will's available and the price is right and we get a different editor, I would definitely consider it.
Yeah, and we have to find our funding and all of that kind of stuff. So we have some work cut out for us, and we have some script work to do together. Jeffrey hasn't seen the last version yet, so that will be interesting.
I've been busy.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not. It's not a criticism.
Busy
it's
is
not a
good.
criticism.
Busy is
Busy's
good.
very
Not a
good.
criticism.
No.
It has given me time to do the work, and so yeah, we'll see. But no, I'm excited. I think we work pretty well together at this point.
Yeah.
We don't fight like we used to. So
It's a little sad, actually. We don't fight like we used to.
we don't. No. You don't bring me flowers anymore.
Well, you do bring flowers, which is so nice.
Just brings me a lot of aggravation.
Well,
But,
it's great that you guys
in
work
the end,
together. It's great that you continue to work together.
It's nice.
Love the
I've always
collaboration.
been a creature of habit in that way. I really enjoy working with people that I'm comfortable. You get a certain energy. You know what to expect. It's hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes this stuff can be tough, and people have very different temperaments in this business.
And Lainey, you're not unique in that. It's not just Lainey doing that. Like that's. Most people want to work with people that they already know they like to work with. I mean, it's a much more efficient set. It's a much more efficient process. I directed a play that I co-wrote recently with 5 students in it, and it was great because they know how I work, I know how they work, and everybody stepped up to the plate. I think that's even super famous directors use the same people. The Coen brothers use the same people. Barry Levinson uses the same people. That's, as an actor, if you're on the outside of that, maybe that's not the greatest thing, but it makes perfect sense. You already know you can trust them. You already know you're going to trust their work. And so Lainey, as a writer producer as well as the actress, has seen me from both on the receiving end as the actress, but also knows that I gave her exactly what I told her I was going to give her.
That's true. And I also know what I'm getting, and I know where he's going to give me a hard time, and I know how to fight him now on certain things, and I know how to, like in the very first time, there were things, you sort of, we know how to work with each other now, and I feel like I know that there are things, there will be some roadblocks on certain things, but I feel like we've already gone through it together, and I don't worry about it. You know, I know we'll get through it. I know we'll come up with a great.
You should probably worry, Lainey.
Well, I kind of do, but I'm trying to be nice.
You should probably really worry.
I'm going to fight you tooth and nail this time. You're not getting away with anything. He got away with a lot last time.
I get away with much.
But it's like, you know, people are like, why are you working with him again? And I said, the devil, you know. And I know. Look, you see that face? Yeah, I know. No, I know. And you know what? At the end of the day, he's my acting coach too. He knows my work. Yeah, I'm very comfortable. I feel very safe with working with him. And I know that I'm not being judged. I know that he knows what I'm capable of. And if he's not getting it, he knows how to get it. And I feel very comfortable being comfortable, being free. And and I trust him. I really trust him. So, and I think he trusts me at this point.
What about being directed by him in a play?
Oh, I would. 100. I'm just waiting for him to offer me a part. He keeps doing all this stuff and he's not calling me.
I've done one play.
I mean, okay, so you've done one play and you haven't called me. I'm just saying. I mean, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Love you, Jeffrey. In this minute. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Since you do both, Jeffrey, when you're coaching and teaching actors, do you concentrate more towards them being in theater or more behind the camera?
And Lainey can attest to this. I am not a medium-based coach, so I think that people who teach for a medium are not doing their students a decent service. You know, what you need to know, the difference in the mediums is technical and learnable, and most directors of film and television will tell you what they want in the room. And there's no coach or casting director on the planet that can tell you, again, the Coen brothers or Barry Levinson will want two very different things from you. Your job as an actor, I think, whether it's film, television, theater, commercials even, is to do the script, do the text, and make sense of it. And the medium does not matter. The first doorway in is the words, and whatever the words are telling you to do, you know, when you see dialogue, all dialogue is a thought being spoken or an action. And so once an actor can do that, the fine tuning of the medium is super easy to do. So I not only don't focus on it, I actually have a big problem because a lot of actors are thinking about the medium rather than about the important work. Because a director, even if you're on stage, I mean, look, there are definitely technical differences. When you're on stage, you have to project more. When you're on stage, you have this fourth wall. You have, you know, you're cheating. You don't have all the same veritas that you have in film and TV. But for film and TV, you're doing one scene over and over again. And so I don't know which you would say is better. And there are definitely differences. You know, on stage, your audience is far away. In film and TV, the audience is wherever the camera is. And so how, you know, so that those are differences you want to recognize. But in terms of what your intention is as an actor, that they should be exactly the same. So that's what I tell my actors. That's how I approach all my work.
Now I noticed in the short film, that Lainey, you're playing. A lot of the is that my audio? The phone?
No, you're good.
It's Jeffrey. A little weird there. Yeah. Well, I don't have my microphone on either, so it's not the best audio today. So I'm upset about that. But what are you going to do, right? Yeah. So, Lainey, about your acting in the movie, even times where you're not speaking and you're reacting, and the film is showing your reactions. I mean, that's kind of like what I noticed about it. Like you just stare. You're like looking when you look in the mirror and things like that. So it's.
We took out.
That's okay. I wasn't going to say anything.
we took out. But we took out a lot of dialogue because you don't need to explain.
You don't need
things.
it. Yeah.
You can see them, and Lainey, catching Lainey in thought on camera, as you'll see, those are some of the most profound moments in the film, I think.
Yeah, I believe that's what sucks people in right away. That just the visual.
Yep.
It makes me. It's funny because one of the things that I do, and Jeffrey and I have had a lot of discussions about this. is when I watch something that I do it very objectively. I'm not watching me, I'm watching this woman. And sometimes I watch it and it really breaks my heart. And I remember the first time I saw it at where I met you at the, no, I'm sorry, it was before that at the Newport Beach Festival. We premiered there and we were on an enormous screen, and I had only ever seen the film on my phone or on my laptop. I had never seen it on a big screen. And my producing partner Jane, who's also a breast cancer survivor, we went to see it together in LA, and we watched it, and as soon as it came up, within like seconds, we were like crying because it's so impactful. And I've told people, please don't watch it on a small screen, because it just sort of loses something. You're so sucked in when you see it in a theater. And I find it very emotional to watch, because I remember the exact moment, in the beginning, looking in the mirror. I remember that moment so well, because that moment was a real moment for me. And it's funny, there was a woman at the Garden State Festival who came up to me, lovely, and she came to me after crying, and she said, I have to tell you this, that I also went through breast cancer not long ago, and I went through all the same stuff you did. And it, so much of what you guys went through is what I went through. And she said, this affected me so much. And it was such a moment for me. I mean, we were both standing there crying, but to know that this particular story is ringing true for people and really making them, it's true for them, makes me feel very good. And it feels good to watch it. I like watching it. I need to watch it periodically, because me, as a breast cancer survivor, I write about my journey. Every year I write an essay about where I am in my journey, emotionally and physically. And it's not really planned. It just sort of happens. It's just sort of something I think about around the anniversaries. And I reread them over and over and over again. And I did a podcast, I've done some videos where I talk about it, or I've been interviewed, and I watch them back over and over again, because it's important for me to hear it, because I have to remember that this happened to me and where I was in that moment. And watching this film kind of brings it back for me, because this film was conceived literally right after my first, surgery. And I went through multiple surgeries after that. So it all hits so many buttons for me, and, Jeffrey coming in and really keeping it beautiful and pure and impactful made such a huge difference. And we're so proud of this movie. I mean, we're just, every time we go and we hear people's reactions, and that's why we love doing interviews like this too, because this film, at some point, we're going to be on to the next project, and it's going to be done in the festivals and all that. And we want to just sort of stay present with it right now, because it is such an important film, I think, for so many people. And it's just a beautiful film. I mean, it's happy, it's sad.
You remarked, about seeing on a big screen, Lainey, and I don't everything else you said, of course. But something, when you talk about seeing on the big screen, when people watch it, they'll notice the framing of it, and it works beautifully on a big screen because of sort of what Lainey's talking about, right? We're capturing all these moments, and some of these moments are super close. Yeah. Some of them are sort of a little deeper into the bedroom. But they are moments, as Lainey said, that happened, and what I tried to do by framing it the way we framed it is show thematically and filmically what was going on for Lainey, and when you see it on the big screen, all of it resonates at the same level. When you see it on your phone, God forbid, or on a computer, what resonates most is the stuff that's in the bathroom, and the rest of the stuff tends to not have the same impact. And I'd say the biggest, there's two great moments where that's most evident, and one of them, the real powerful one, is the argument. Mm-hmm. And when you see the argument on the big screen, I remember, Lainey, I don't know how you felt, but when I saw the argument on the big screen, it was such a different experience for me. Mm-hmm. And that's how I imagined it in my head. I mean, when I framed it and when I was sort of directing it, that's how I imagined it in my head. So
awesome. Yeah.
What's happening?
Well, I'm not in my house, so
The extras are out of control.
yeah, you know, and now I have to pay them because they're on camera.
Exactly. You better get a release first.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. They're heading to Grafty, so it's okay.
Don't give them a line because then we're gonna have to pay more. Whole new contract.
Oh. I was just in New Jersey itself. Here in New Jersey, there's a lot of productions going on over the summer. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like coming back with a vengeance.
Well, you know
That's
what's
great.
happening. I don't know, Laney, if you heard this, but what's happening in California is with the uptick in COVID, they're having issues with shooting out in California.
No.
And so the production on the East Coast is really bumping up right now. So the summers are a little weaker, but I think it's good news for us East Coasters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah, it's been nuts.
Awesome. Yeah, so I can't wait to see it on March 7th, and
yeah, we're very excited.
It's not the biggest screen; it is a bar.
No, but it's I like
bar.
the downstairs screening room. That's a nice. I like that location.
And I will be there. It's in Jersey City, right?
Jersey City, yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah, it was the first place I lived, and actually it's where both my parents were born and where my sister was born. So Jersey City is.
You'll feel right at home.
Yeah.
I'll feel right at home.
I love it there. It's like my second home. I used to teach there when I was younger, and this place they took me in, and I was a waiter there, and now I have a festival there twice a year. So and then
so nice.
The guy that owns it's amazing. So it's just so much fun.
Oh yeah, I had a long chat with him when I was there last time. The guy from Brooklyn. We had a really nice fun time chatting.
Tommy Two Scoops.
Yeah, that's right. Tommy.
Yeah, so it'll be a good time. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll be
All
good.
Right, well, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Can I take a quick hang on? Jeffrey, smile. I keep trying to take a picture, Jeffrey, and I always get you in a weird. All right, everybody smile. Okay, thank you. I like, as you know, I post everything, so and tags.
Absolutely. So I'll try to get this up. I'm interviewing a bunch of people
Good for you.
the next 2 days. I tried to get it in. I did it during the pandemic and it's stuck, and I keep doing it. And I worked for Ming and all that, so we were always doing this stuff. So
awesome.
And so I'm going to try to get this up. But I also have a podcast that I haven't aired in a while, so I could put that up on there too.
Great.
So,
Thank you for having us, Chris.
We look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
We'll see you on Sunday.
Great.
Okay. Take care.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye, Laney.
Bye.